All right. We got two people in the chat. Hey, babies. Hey, kids. How's everything going? Welcome to 773 Oracle and Tarot. I am Chi-Town Ronnie. And I didn't plan on getting on tonight. It's Monday. And Monday was definitely Monday-ying. Um, but uh, in the general readings today, I had stated that Mercury is in Aquarius, and so just go ahead and do what you need to do. And so with that Mercury energy in Aquarius, and I am an Aquarian, I wanted to jump on here real fast. And I wanted to talk about something that was on my mind today. In the readings, I think it was the air sign. It was definitely the air signs. I had used the word domestication. And it got me to thinking about that word. And where did I learn it? And when did I to use it into that context? And so this book, The Four Agreements, that's where I got that word, domestication. So on some of my other lives, you may have heard me refer to this book. This book and The Power of Now. You know, I've got a library that I refer to, but those two books really made a big impact on me. And I wanted to talk about something today. So, in the first agreement, in the first chapter of the Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz, he's the author of the book. His first chapter explores the concept of domestication. Hi, salesman. Hi, baby. That chapter on domestication, he explores how societal and family pressures shape our belief systems and our behaviors at a very young age. And he breaks it down. He breaks it down almost as if you are training a dog or a cat. And it was all based on like rewards and fear and punishment and things of that nature. So in the chapter, Don Miguel, he draws the parallels between domesticating animals and how humans are domesticated by beliefs and opinions of other people. And we get that, and again, we get that from a very early age. And I mean, some of it can go a little bit out there, but I mean, at the end of the day, when you think about it, I mean, he's right. He goes on to say, like, even the name that you were born with, you did not have a choice in that name. All right. But that's what you're called. And you succumb to that. And then, you find the words, mommy, daddy, all those things. All of those things were like shaping like the framework of what we're supposed to be in the world. All right. And as we live in a society, there's a that's okay, so that we can all go along to get along. But at the end of the day, the greatest crime that happens is the loss of our authenticity. And so that's what he talks about. In this chapter. In doing all of that, we start to internalize beliefs that without even consciously being aware of it. It leads us to live according to expectations rather than our own truth. And so, we go along so long to get along. It's like, what are the impacts? What are the impacts of that domestication? And so one of them is the loss of authenticity. Domestication leads us to the loss of our true selves. We become very preoccupied with pleasing other people and conforming to societal norms, and then we suppress our genuine desires and our emotions, and then then these things that come into place, fear and rejection, the fear of not meeting expectations becomes a very primary motivator into how we navigate ourselves in the world. And it's really sad. It's really sad. This, that first chapter, and we didn't even get into we didn't really even get into like the four agreements themselves, but that first chapter of that domestication, to me, that was really, really impactful. And I just wanted to come out here, and I wanted to pontificate on that a little bit. In with the loss of our authenticity, with the fact that we feel that we have this fear of rejection, that leads into some more stuff. That leads into emotional suffering. Domestication, it creates a foundation where it's like a breeding ground for emotional suffering. We constantly judge ourselves against these like unrealistic standards, especially with like social media. And I was gonna say it's really hard on the girls, but more and more I'm seeing more and more men succumb to these pressures. Now, when I was teaching, my students would come up to me and they were like, oh, Miss Ronnie, look at this, look at that. And I always had to constantly remind them, because when they came up to me and they're saying, look at this, look at that, it was a blend of admiration and this, it was like a feeling of like overwhelming, like, will they ever get that good? And, I always had to remind them that people on social media never post their failures, and that what you see on social media is a snapshot. It's not real life. It's a snapshot of what people want you to believe that their life really is. And that was like the biggest thing about social media. Social media, it became this platform where people, it was supposed to be about sharing, but somehow or another we twisted it, and it became this thing where it is like a sense of pressure. It is a sense of expectation that if we're not like so, then we must be failing, and that's not it at all. The first chapter in this book really it really broke that down. And so we are constantly judging ourselves against like unrealistic standards. And then that leads us to like these feelings of guilt, these feelings of shame, these feelings of self-doubt, these feelings of failure. And it's bullshit. And the thing is that it becomes this thing, it's called auto-domestication. We start doing it to ourselves. So the first chapter of this book, he encourages us to break free from that sense of domestication, emphasizing, the importance of recognizing how that domestication came into our lives. Like, for instance, I will say this. And this happens a lot, and more people than not want to admit it. And the thing is that when like, okay, like the first of the month comes, and a lot of people are really hurting right now. And, people are like, oh my gosh, will I have enough money? Fear around money is real. But what we don't do is that we don't look back and say, well, listen, We were able to do it last month. We were able to do it the month before that. We were able to do it so many other times. So why is it that this month is going to be any different? So like that's just an example. That's just an example. When people look at themselves and they're not happy with the image that is staring back at them. Oh, I wish I was, taller. I wish I was thinner. I wish my teeth were straighter or something like that. The challenge at that moment when that happens is to ask yourself, who's saying that? Where's that coming from? Because at the end of the day, I really believe that we come into the world complete, and we do come with a sense of wholeness, and we do come in with the idea that we do love ourselves. But then, again, with that domestication, it pulls us further and further away from who we are. And the chapter, the first chapter in this one, it's where is it? Chapter 9. Yeah. Let me give you something. Here we go. When he says the book of laws, that is that self-imposed book that we're ingrained in. Stand up, sit down, say yes, say thank you, all of those things. Listen, and I'm not talking about. I'm not trying to stop just basic courtesy. That's not what I'm saying. But question things. That's all I'm saying right now. He writes right here and goes, breaking the rules in the book of law opens your emotional wounds and your reactions to create emotional poisons, because everything that is in the book of law has to be true. Anything that challenges what you believe is going to make you feel unsafe. Even if the book of law is wrong, it makes you feel safe, and that was our buy-in. That was our buy-in. And a lot of times when I do readings, I will tell people, I'm like, there was an agreement. There was an agreement that you made. And this is what, this was part of what we were talking about, that agreement. You gotta, it's work, babies. It's work. You gotta ask yourself on a moment-to-moment basis, when you hear those voices in your head, who's saying that? Is that really you? Or is that the conditioning? Is that the domestication? Hi, Izzy. I'm glad you're here, baby. So the chapter on domestication, the first chapter in this, it's a powerful reminder. It's a powerful reminder of the profound influence that external forces have on our lives. So it encourages us to self-reflect, and encourages readers to question the assumptions that and beliefs that limit our freedoms and our happiness. If I don't have a degree, or if I didn't make this milestone by such and such a date, we're not going to be happy. And you tend to see that more with women than you do with men. Men tend to keep that more to themselves. Women, women are very driven, and they have no problem in doing that. They've got the plan. They're going to get that job. They're going to get married at such and such a time. There's going to they got to have a child at such and such a time. It's all of these things. And it was like this programming, from society, Cinderella, and the glass slipper, especially in the Western world, women are believed that is part of the fairy tale. And if they're not a part of that, then somehow they're a failure. But no one ever questions no one ever questions, where did that shit come from? Where did that shit come from? What do we got here? No, I would not go for that. Okay. Joan Tyson definitely talked to, yeah. Yep. Yep. So yeah. So the first chapter of this book, it excuse me, it talks about all of that. It talks about all that stuff, and by understanding the process of domestication, we can, when we understand it, we can thereby learn how we can break that domestication. And with that, um, start living in your authenticity. And you know, authenticity is a collection of choices that we make on an everyday, on a moment to moment basis, and it's about choices showing up and being the real you. All right. You and it's a shame, and especially with social media, that we have to dare to be ourselves, however frightening, however strange yourself may be. It's almost like you got to prove that you're okay to be here. And you know it's when we talk about authenticity, it's a practice of being honest and true to yourself, even when it's difficult, and it involves letting go of what you think you should do, or you should be embracing, who you are. Being authentic can help you build trust with others, and feel a sense of belonging. But that part, that being true to yourself, even when that's hard, that no longer is authenticity. That is now being called integrity. Um, if you're new to the channel, I've got a couple of jobs, and one of them is I'm a stylist, and I love what I do. I love what I do. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to look your absolute best. There's nothing wrong with that. But so many people sit in my chair. So many people sit in my chair, and they place such a heavy value on what they look like. And it really makes me sad. It really makes me sad. Um, uh, like like a thing that's happening is like, my guys, boys are losing their hair at an earlier rate, and now women are losing their hair. I don't know, it might be the stress of society, it might be the food, I don't know, but there's a real concern about that. And I do what I can. I do what I can to make their hair look good and to make them feel good. But at a certain point, there's only so much I can do. And I just wanted to say, hey, Autumn. And I just want to let them know that, baby, if you lose your hair, who you are and what you've got is good enough. If it really bothers you, we'll go get you a wig. But that's not what makes you. What makes you is the energy that you bring, the experiences that you live through, the energy that how you impact your life, your world, and your affairs. Therefore, the environment around you, how you impact it, that's who you really are. But this act of domestication, it's like, if you don't have long flowing blonde hair, or if you don't have hair at all, you're less than. And that's just one aspect of that shit. And that's just one aspect of that. And so I just, listen, you guys, listen. When those voices in your head, when they start making you feel less than, when you feel nervous, or when you get anxiety, I want you to take a moment, if you can, because it's easy to get swept up in the moment. I want you to take a moment and ask yourselves, where is this coming from? Ask yourselves, where is this coming from? Is this from you, or is this from an expectation that somebody placed on you? You know? So that is that. I just wanted to jump on here real fast because this was, like I said, I had used that word domestication, domesticated in my readings today, and all day long, it wouldn't let go, and so I just figured, let me get up on here and let me exercise what it is, and maybe the message will reach somebody. I don't know, but I mean, you got jokers here, on here, wanting to be stupid. I just figured, hey, maybe, among all that other stuff, maybe this message will shine through, and maybe it'll reach the right person. I don't know. But, I can white rabbit. Hi, sweetie. So, I just wanted to get on there and just hopefully that message reaches the right person. So that is that. All right, you guys, listen, do all the things. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. If this message resonated, say something in the comments. And yeah, just the world is going to do a number on you to make you feel bad. Don't you help it. Don't you help it. All right? Don't you help it. All right. White Rabbit, Autumn, Izzy. Let me see. Who else do I got up in here? Who else is up in here that came through? No, that's it. That's it. All right, you guys. You guys stay blessed. Thank you so much. Other account can't post. Oh, I don't know, sweetie. I don't know, Rabbit. I don't know if you're shadow banned or not, baby. I don't know. But anyway, you guys, hey, you have an amazing evening. I'm about to get some edibles and get high. I got to wake up very early tomorrow. Readings are going to be at 5 a.m. What is that? Hot nails. Oh, thank you, what? Thank you. So, go back on the replay and see, hear the full message, and hopefully it helps you guys. All right, you guys. You guys have a good. I fell asleep on my reading. Oh yeah, it's okay, baby. There's other readings, honey. We got other readings. But definitely listen to this message, baby. Okay. All right. Good night, babies. Good night. Stay blessed. Bye.